Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are at our next event, which is Live with Adventure Forge. I'm Rem Alternis. I'm the Community and Marketing Director of catalystgamelabs, and I'm here with Jordan Weisman, legend, as you start you're beyond starting your next adventure. And I can't wait to see where it goes. We've talked about it on Catalyst channel in the past, but I want people to get to know and hear it from you, so we're going to talk all about it. But for those who don't know, Jordan is the creator of Shadowrun and BattleTech, among a million other things. I'll let you do your intro.
Oh my God! Well, I'm old. That could take the entire half hour. Myself and Ross Babcock started FASA back in 1980, where led the creation of BattleTech and Shadowrun and Renegade Legion and many other games no one remembers anymore.
Crimson Skies.
Very late in life, Crimson Skies. That came later. And then we started Virtual World Entertainment, where we did the virtual reality entertainment centers, which was all the BattleTech pods and Red Planet pods.
I didn't know that was you, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so we started that in 1987, opened up the first center in Chicago in 1990, and then Tokyo and Yokohama in 92, California in 92, and then Disney Family actually bought a majority of the share of the company from us, and working with them, we built that out to 35 centers around the world. Pioneered a lot of what would become kind of modern esports with, local, regional, national, and international competitions, televised, finals and everything. From there, went to the PC game space with a line of games, MechWarrior and MechCommander.
Awesome.
Microsoft acquired our PC game company, moved us all to Seattle. I became creative director for Microsoft Entertainment. That time, about 300 people, focused just on PC games. But then 2 years later, we kicked off Xbox, and so I oversaw the portfolio for the first 2 years of Xbox as a creative director.
Wow.
So that was crazy times, and we grew to 1,500 people. And during that time, we did the experience with Steven Spielberg for his film AI, which pioneered the first ARGs.
Yeah.
And then left Microsoft to found a company called Wizkids, which produced this collectible miniature figurine game that I had come up with watching my two older boys be frustrated that they couldn't play Warhammer. And so I wanted to produce a game that they and the rest of us could play. And so that was Mage Knight, and then followed by Hero Clicks, and then the Dark Age, MechWarrior Dark Age clicks, and then Pirates of the Spanish Main, the Punch-Out collectible game. Anyway, I can go on. But basically,
there's
stuff for
a lot.
very long time. Yeah,
and I'm learning every time I talk to you. I'm like, well, crap, that's even bigger.
And then more recently, Harebrained Schemes for a decade, where we did many games, but probably closest to our hearts were the Shadowrun RPGs and the BattleTech tactical games.
Absolutely. Woo!
Hey, you're live.
Yeah, we are. We just got audio.
Yay!
Well, so let's go then into your newest venture, which is Adventure Forge.
That's right.
And what is Adventure Forge? What is the goal of that company?
So the goal of Adventure Forge company is actually called Endless Adventures, and the product is Adventure Forge. The goal of that is to take the privilege I've had for all these years of being able to tell my stories and through video games, and empower everybody to have that creative medium available to them by getting rid of the expensive engineering component. I mean, every other art form has had a real democratization over the last decade, where it's really accessible to be able to make anything from high quality board games to film and television, all sorts of different types of arts that you would find on Etsy, with the things like laser cutters and 3D printers and all these incredible tools that really allow you to kind of create a cottage industry, a true creator economy in all these different forms of art, except video games, right? Because video games have always had this very difficult and expensive software engineering component being so critical to it. So, when working on our tools at Harebrained Schemes, like for the creation of the Shadowrun games, we're always trying to get engineering as far away from game design as possible. Not because the people don't like each other. They really do. Everybody loves each other and gets along. But because, just like in any kind of writing, iteration equals quality, right? Writing is rewriting. And video game making or tabletop game making is about playtesting and iterating and playtesting and iterating, getting it better and better and better and honing it. And so you need that loop to be as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And if you have to keep sending those changes through engineering, it just slows that loop down. You get less turns of the wheel, and you end up with a product that isn't as honed as it could be. It isn't as refined as it could be.
Makes
So
sense.
we were really working on that at HBS, and now Adventure Forge takes those concepts and pushes them kind of to the nth degree by getting rid of engineering altogether. So maybe we'll maybe show a little video of some games made with Adventure Forge. If we could cue up
Saban, if
that
we
one,
can get
Saban.
the video. Roll the tapes.
So we're going to do the first one. This is a video of some games made in Adventure Forge last year when we did a closed beta last year. And so we had game jams that were running between 1 and 3 weeks.
We want to use the laptop.
You want
for
to
it.
use the laptop?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Let's try that. Hold on. And how do you want me to position the laptop? Like
Let's.
turn it around?
We can either turn it or we can lay it flat. Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Okay. As we're seeing kind of here, small on the screen, you get a sense of the games that were made during the game jam. Some of these were also made by our in-house team, and they were made very quickly, which is the key thing, right? They were made by just writers, artists, game designers, musicians in some cases. Some people added music elements to their game, or actually playing music during the game as part of it. And you can make a very wide variety of narrative games. When we got rid of engineering, replacing it with these drop-down menus I'll show you in a minute, that allows you to construct English language logical sentences. We also realized we needed to be able to be able to create tools that are much more genre specific. And so we decided that each of these forges would be built for a specific genre of video games. Chose narrative games as our first genre because my lifelong passion was storytelling and narrative games. And so Adventure Forge covers a very, very broad swath of narrative games. Anything from kind of a text-based choose-your-own adventure to a visual novel, click-and-point adventures, dating sims, puzzle-based story games like hidden object games, all the way up to sophisticated isometric RPGs. And right now in the marketplace, that would be like 3 or 4 different tools. But we wanted to put that all together in one so that you had a lot more creative breadth of how you can mix together various forms of storytelling experiences, like hidden object games like this one is on screen there, or creating very puzzles or interfaces as you would want to do in a narrative game or in an RPG. Anyway, you get a little sense of the kind of things that can be built with it here.
That's awesome. So you're creating your own video games finally.
That's right.
Awesome.
It is all about creating your own video games. And coming away from the game jams we did last year and the closed beta, we had a couple of key learnings. One is people really love the power that we were giving them. But they really didn't like the way that the content sharing hierarchy was built.
Okay.
So we had this concept of a universe, and then you would put adventures inside of a universe, and you would put up all these assets at the universe level, and the adventurers would inherit them, right? Very much how we think about it from a tabletop standpoint, right? We have a base game, and we have expansions, and people just didn't get that. They were like, why do I have to make a universe before I make my game? And then why can't I combine universes together, right? Oh, I like that fantasy stuff. I like that science fiction stuff. I'd like to mix it together. May sound familiar.
What?
And the system wouldn't let them do that. So we took a big step back and realized that we had missed the mark. And so we re-engineered to create these incredibly powerful things with the very uncreative name of content packs. And so a content pack now is a complete game. So you can take any game you're working on and you can save it as a content pack. And then other creators can install those content packs into the game they're creating. So if Charlie made a fantasy game and Sally made a sci-fi game, and they both saved them at content packs and gave me access to them, I could plug both of them into mine. And not only could I use the assets from their games, like the imagery, the environments, the characters, portraits, things like that, but I could actually use their game mechanics.
Oh.
So if Bob had done like a really good combat system, and I really liked the logic that he wrote for his combat system, I could just use that.
Okay.
Right? Or if Sally had done this really cool conversation system, I could just pull that in and use all of that. So it allows me to mix and match, combine, and mod.
Without having to recreate the wheel every time.
Exactly. I get to build on top of all of those strengths. And I think that gives you ability to really build sophisticated content quickly. The other big thing we learned in the game jams last year, again, was that one of those, everything you learn is one of those you go, well, of course. Of course. How didn't I know that? Just because I'm old, you think I'd know this stuff. But no, you can be old and stupid at the same time. So the other part is that, people wanted to work on the games as teams.
Okay.
Right? But our tool, just like every other UGC tool out there, was built for individuals. Right? And they wanted to collaborate in real time on it. And so, like, well, that is a really cool thing, and we should figure out how to do it. So it took a long time, but we have now done that. So you can now invite your friends, and you can collaborate on the game in real time like you would on a Google Doc or a Figma page or Notion page.
I like the idea of that too, because like you have different game designers that some really like writing the rules, and some really like writing the story and the narrative and the dialogue.
Exactly. Or do the art, the animations, the music, and being able to contribute all the different forms of art that it takes to make a video game. Together means that now it doesn't rely on just one person to do that. Or like what they were doing in the game jams before was they were hot seating. Like only one person could be in the game at a time.
Yeah. And
that's near as much fun or as social as being able to collaborate on it in real time. So yeah, that's those are the two biggest things. And I can show a little video of what it's like to make a game in Adventure Forge, or try to here on the TV. So this is a little RPG that was made by Kevin, who is our intern that wears 1,000 hats and is now the entire marketing department. And so he recorded himself making a game. And this is one using one of our standard content packs. So he didn't have to create all this art. He just had it available in the content pack to be able to bang it together and create the environments he wanted for his little sci-fi game.
It's like the best part of The Sims, where you build your house and
yeah. Well, exactly. And building environments is really fun. And this is an example of how logic is created. So you just have to kind of envision what is the English language if-then statement you want to make. And then you click your way through the menus, because everything you've created in the game appears in the appropriate menu.
Okay.
So you just click to make the, if Bob does this, then Sally should do that.
Okay. So this is where, like, if you're thinking of some of these games where, like, you react in a certain way text-wise and they get mad at you, that you make those options. Like, if you say this, they're going to get mad.
Exactly.
If you say this, they're going to like you more.
That's right. Or if you say, light a match and throw it, the barrel blows up.
Yep. Cool. Okay.
And because any part of the game can use logic to impact any other part of the game. So if you're in a conversation, but you want the barrel and the isometric to blow up, no problem.
Awesome.
Right? You can just tell it to do that. And you see some of the conversation engines. You see some of the 2D interfaces. So this tool specifically is a really powerful one. That you can build any kind of 2D interface, mini game, puzzle, excuse me, click and point adventure or visual novel, just by dropping images onto the canvas and then establishing with our little logic what happens when a player touches it, or what happens when a player drags it or drops it or hovers over it. And with that, you can create a huge variety of different kinds of experiences in that 2D environment to either layer on top of the 3D isometric, or just be all by themselves.
How is it in terms of complexity? Like if I were to go in and I wanted to make a game of BattleTech, where it's like, if I go in any of these hexes, these are the things that will happen, or the effects.
I can always count on you to throw at something which we can't do, because that makes nothing for, that's always a good sales pitch. But, so our, we have different kinds of modules that are available to build stuff with. And the kind of isometric explore mode, which is a real-time explore mode, is very, very robust. Our isometric turn-based tactical mode, which is what you'd want to use to do like a game like BattleTech, is still in alpha, so
Okay.
it's available, but still kind of rough around the edges.
So it's coming. It's a goal.
It's coming, by all means. And then importantly, you also got the tools to be able to do the AI. Right?
Okay.
I mean, I know that's a big subject here at the show today because of ACEs and being able to play a deck providing the AI for tabletop.
Yeah, fight the computer.
Yeah, here you can then put that AI into effect through our logic system to be able to have the game that you're playing, the enemies you're playing against. But something like BattleTech, which is a very sophisticated combat system, would take a fair amount of time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a tool. It's not a toy. If I can draw that distinction,
okay.
Right? A toy is something that is very fun to play with making things, but it is unlikely you're going to make something that others would want to play.
Fair.
Right?
Okay.
The joy is in the making
Yeah.
rather than in the playing. And we really wanted to create a powerful tool that gave you the ability to make things that people would really want to play.
Oh, okay.
Right? And potentially even pay for, right? Because you can charge for the games you've made, so it can become a revenue stream for you.
How does that happen? Is that connected with Steam or?
So it all takes place inside the Adventure Forge app. So
okay.
It's very easy to publish. After you've gotten your game and you just want to publish it to others, you would press the button to be able to do so. And when you do that, you have the option to say, I want to charge for this game. I want to charge $3 or $5 or whatever for people to play the game. And then there's a revenue share. We get some of that revenue, and the creator gets some of that revenue, and we just pay you out as people buy it.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So you can become your own video game designer. You can create a variety of different board card RPG kind of games, and then it even allows you to deliver that so that you don't even have to worry about how to sell it.
That's right. You don't have to go through all the hassle of setting up Steam accounts and iOS accounts and Android accounts and so on to sell your game. If you eventually want to, you can, because you can then export the game from Adventure Forge and go publish it yourself.
Okay.
And we will look forward to publishing some of the great games that we find in Adventure Forge as standalone experiences, with, of course, significant revenue share to the creators.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's we are just now starting our new closed beta.
Ooh, okay.
But we would invite your watchers and listeners to join us.
How do they do that?
Beta. If you go to adventureforge.games, you'll see in the upper right corner it says sign in or join, and if you use the beta code secret sauce, all one word, then you'll be able. Then it'll send you a Steam key and establish your account on Adventure Forge, and you can get in and start making things and experience all the wonderful bugs that we'll be fixing.
That's awesome. That's great. And so you can do that today. Where can people find and follow Adventure Forge to get more news as new upgrades come and so on?
So yeah, the website is adventureforge.games, and there is on YouTube also the channel Adventure Forge.games.
Great.
You can check all the YouTube there. And we do have socials, but I'm not smart enough to have those memorized.
Look up Adventure Forge on social media as well.
It'll have stuff.
Awesome. And we'll include. I think we included a link to on our social media pages on our graphics for the stream today, so you can find Adventure Forge as well and Jordan as well.
Yes.
Anything else you want to share about Adventure Forge or stuff that you're working on, things you're going to do here at the show before we say goodbye?
Yeah, so I think a couple things. I think, my hopes and dreams for Adventure Forge are that we're going to see a lot more diversity in terms of point of view, life experience, and storytelling techniques than we've seen in video games, right? That's really my hope. I think if I look, half my career has been on tabletop, half of it has been in digital, and they've really been fundamentally different, right? In digital, it's mine and the team's story that's getting told, and the players navigate within the bounds that we've established for that game. On tabletop, right, with Shadowrun or BattleTech, it's kind of like we design the place setting, right? But we don't make the meal. Mm-hmm. The players make the meal. The players tell their story.
That's neat.
Right? Through in the context that we've established, and then they make it theirs, right? And so it can very much reflect their life, their points of view, their experiences, right? The cultures that they come from, the cultures they want to explore. All of those things are available to take the place setting and make it into what you want. And the goal of Adventure Forge is to bring that incredible breadth of creativity to video games.
Awesome.
Right? And because I've seen it so dynamically wonderful for decades now on tabletop, and I really think video games could use that injection of just unbridled creativity that gets filtered out by so much of the giant corporations and the millions and millions of dollars it takes to make these things. To be able to make your own indie game that really has those points of view, I think they'll be really refreshing, and I think they will find markets that bigger companies never knew existed.
I still hear a little bit of Shadowrun in there. After all this
you
time.
mean me versus the Megacorp? Yeah, okay. There's a little of that in there always. I mean, I have worked for some of the world's biggest Megacorps, and I have learned a lot there and enjoyed my times there. But they are not places where new ideas really get seen.
Agree.
It's just it's not that they're bad people in any way. It's just structurally, it's very difficult to get new ideas to see, in those kind of environments. And that's what it's the role of indies and those of us on the outside, in our garages. That's always been our job. Our job is to through passion and just damn the torpedoes, we're going to make something that other one's ever seen before, and that's what ends up changing the cultural landscape in its own little way.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you
pleasure.
for everything. Thank you for what you've done for gaming as a whole, and the years and decades that you've been contributing to this hobby we all love and we're all here for. So thank you so much. I
appreciate it so much. Thank you. Look forward to playing Shadowrun here tonight.
Yeah, we're playing Shadowrun 6th World here at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Jordan and a dev from every single edition of Shadowrun. So this is going to be a great historic event.
I get to blame Mike Mulvihill and Tom Dowd and Jason and all the people. I'm like, what did you do? To my game.
We already have a plan for next year to do Edition Wars. So tune in. Don't go anywhere, though, because coming up next, we are live with XP Network. So we'll see you then.
Thank you.